What is up, everybody? Clint Esposito here, and I have a guest on today's show. Let me bring him up too. I got actually a professional eater, competitive eater, George Chiger. What do you call it? Competitive or professional or what? Both? Either?
I'm a professional and competitive eater,
All right, we hit it all.
so it's both. Yeah,
Awesome. I know that you and I had a conversation one night, and I was just very intrigued at all the training and all this other stuff that I'd never really thought about until we started to have that conversation. But we'll start. When did you get into? How did you get into competitive eating?
I got into competitive eating back in 2010, just by default. Really, I was standing in the cable line, paying my cable bill, and there was this petite woman in front of me, purple hair, yoga pants, bebopping around in the cable line, telling the girls how she qualified and she's going back to Coney Island. She's going to Coney Island. I think it might have been her first or second time there. She ate 15 hot dogs and buns, and I kind of chuckled. And she turned around and she's like, "I could eat more hot dogs than you, big boy. You should come to the gym and practice with me." And I'm like, "Lady, you're crazy. No thanks." But I kept running into her around town. She finally talked me into going into the gym and tried to eat some hot dogs in 10 minutes and buns.
What you
And I
say,
became her sparring
gym?
partner.
You say gym? Is it actually like
Yeah.
you go to a gym?
Physical gym. She's a personal trainer, and when we first started training together, we would go to the gym that she was working at, and we would go into the basketball courts and have a little George Foreman grill up our hot dogs and buns, and we had a little crowd gather to watch us eat the hot dogs and buns, or
Uh-huh.
attempt to eat, see how many we could eat in 10 minutes. And then sometimes we were in the what the one whatever. We did that for 3 or 4 years, and then we ended up going to like a hot dog cart locally, and we've been training there for over 8 years now together. But uh, when I originally got into it, it was just to become Laurel's sparring partner, my mentor's sparring partner. She needed someone to push her, and I think my first time out, I ate maybe 15 or 16 hot dogs, and I you know she's like, you're good. You should try to, qualify and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, that's crazy. Everybody's, you know, the guys are eating 40, 50 hot dogs at the time. And, uh, and I'm like, no, I'm just here to push you. And she's like, well, I'm eating 14 hot dogs today. I said, okay, well, I'll eat 15. And she's like, well, if I eat 15, what are you going to do? I'm like, well, I'll just eat 16. And she's like, I hate you. But we did this for 5 or 6 years, and she finally convinced me to try to qualify, to go to a qualifier. So I started pushing myself. I got up into the low 20s in practice, and I went to a qualifier, and I came in second place with like 17 hot dogs and buns, and it just changed my life. The whole experience of listening to the MC talk about everybody giving that the boilerplate, or the some of it's boilerplate, some of it's real, that to get the crowd amped up. You're an MC, you get it. You introduced other comedians and stuff. I've seen you on stage, and you get the crowd hyped. And man, he's talking about this guy. He works at the mall part time. He's at Builder Bear. He's at Salad Works. Like, hey, this guy sounds pretty cool. And he's like, George Chiger from Pocono Pines. I'm like, holy crap, that's me. And I ran out, and I had a bunch of friends in the crowd because it was a local qualifier. And I got hooked. And like I said, coming in second place, George Shea's like, this is the future of competitive eating here, ladies and gentlemen. And I walked off stage, and I met Badlands Booker, and he's like, you need to hang out with us. You could become one of the top eaters in the world. And the rest is pretty much history, man. It's crazy. It's been 8 years, going on 9 years now, and it's changed my life.
So is that all you do now? How many competitions do you do a year?
Um, well, I try to hit as many as we can. And pre-COVID, I was hitting probably a dozen or, almost 2 dozen competitions, but now I don't think we even have a dozen competitions
Oh,
currently a
wow.
year, so everything's ramping back up. This year's been a little rough for me for travel, so I haven't hit as many as I wanted to, but the big ones, the Coney Island, Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest on 4th of July. I've been very fortunate to be invited to it the last 3 years. I worked very hard the first, 2018 and 2019 to qualify, first and, second in the world to go. So put a lot of effort out there, but, we could have a competition every weekend per se, if it's, if there's something scheduled. So like currently, once, twice a month, right now.
Nice. But the frequency doesn't matter. You could eat every week, say, competitively.
I could, 4 times a week, 5 times a week. I could go almost every day, like if I had to.
Right.
It's rough on the body. You need to, recoup. I've my rookie year, we have hot dog practice for hot dog season. July through April, or April through July. But on Thursdays, I meet with my mentor to have practice. And I remember, I've done, hot dogs on Thursday, Hostess Donuts, the little powdered sugar guys,
Mm-hmm.
the little Hostess Donuts. I've eaten 132 or 136 in 8 minutes.
Wow.
And I came in like 4th place on Friday. And, and then Saturday, I drove upstate New York for a hot dog qualifier. I ate 30 hot dogs and buns. And then Sunday, I was down in Lancaster at another qualifier eating 30 hot dogs and buns.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's crazy. And then, even with the food challenges, last month I drove 13 states in 6 days. It was just over 3,000 miles, and I ate probably about 100 pounds of food every day. Like we were eating food, 10 plus pounds a day, doing food challenges.
What, different restaurants and stuff that have like
Yep.
big burgers or whatever?
Yeah, big burgers, big pizzas, big boxes of loaded French fries. I ate a 10-pound bowl of cereal the one day,
So
and then I had a competition.
What's the this is like venues setting these up, like spectacles for people to come in and see this, or what is going on?
Definitely. Major League Eating's a marketing company, right? And we're used as a marketing tool. I say we're the dancing monkeys.
Yep.
We're the sideshow.
I've been that with the dirt bikes.
Yeah, definitely. I remember I've had a qualifier at the Pocono racetrack right next to the dirt bike burnout pit and all that. And I remember, they were burning out and all that smoke and tire and junk was coming into us
nice.
as we were eating hot dogs. So, yeah, we're there to entertain. I've opened for Pink out in Texas at the F1 race. Billy Joel out there last year. We were eating Spam. So, fairs, fundraisers, and then, corporate events. And then also, the restaurants and stuff for, promotions for the restaurants. Like, hey, we got the biggest burger in town,
right.
or the 76-ounce steak.
Right. Or the old 96er. You remember that?
Yeah, the 96er, definitely. You got to eat the gristle too.
That's right. That's right.
So, yeah. So, there's a lot of travel. I have to pay for travel out of pocket for a lot of the things I do. Pretty much 98% of it. Oh, sorry about that.
No problem. Oh, it's 11:11. Make a wish, George. Oh, you disappeared. Yeah, so I met him and then I like talking to anybody. Hopefully he just clicks back in here on the Zoom call. But I like talking to anybody that's really good at anything because they'll always bring up something like crazy that you never thought of that's very important, to what their line of work. Uh, and you're like, "Oh man." Like just the fact of them training, and he does hot dog training for hot dog season. Who ever thought that there was different foods for different seasons? I love it when this happens when it's live because then it's really like not like anybody's watching it live, but still forever and ever this will be up and just have this me sitting here talking to you guys playing with my eye. There we go. And he's back. All right, here we go. I'll switch back.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
Totally hit the wrong button on that one.
All good.
Oh, I lost you on the
sound.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
All right, I can hear you. As long as you hear me, my earbuds got turned off too.
They disconnected.
Yeah, as long as the sound's not bad. Sorry about that. I know we're live.
No problem. Nobody's watching. That's what I was like. Nobody's watching, so we're fine.
That's not good. People will watch though.
It'll be here in perpetuity, or however you say that.
Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to think where we're at. The old 96er.
The old 96er. You guys are basically the monkeys that go around and promote the sport and the events and the series.
Definitely. But like you were doing the same thing,
Yeah. You're the athlete.
Yeah, the freestyle.
Yeah. But you're just the athlete.
Definitely, yeah, because we train.
Yep.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. So what were so you have hot dog eating season. What other that's summertime?
So yeah, that's spring into summer because that's the biggest event of the year, right? Nathan's, that's our damn it. I hit I didn't lose you, did I?
No, you're good.
I thought I put this on.
I'm having a tea drinking contest. I'm going to drink the most tea. Till we lose him. We lost him again. This is show business, baby. Vern's coming in here. I wish I could turn my camera over there to show you Vern. So I guess biggest contest is Nathan's hot dog eating. Here he comes. He can't hear us yet. There we go.
Yeah, I put it on Do Not Disturb. The one person that's not blocked from that calls me. I haven't talked to them in weeks. So
Nathan's is the Super Bowl of food eating.
Yeah, of competitive eating is the Nathan's Famous Hot Dog. So everybody takes it pretty serious. I train year-round for it, but my mentor only trains like 3 months out of the year, and that's really hot dog season. So I take hot dog season really serious. I quit drinking in April. I lose like 25 pounds the month of April from quit drinking.
Wow.
But me and my mentor, we get together once a week and we will practice eating hot dogs. You start off with, whatever numbers we think we're going to hit. And every week try to increase that.
You just call a bunch of dudes
Yeah. Not the case. No, not the case. I didn't think it was going to be that kind of show.
No.
So, we go to the the local hot dog trailer, Sherry's place, and we order up like 50 hot dogs and buns.
And they love you.
And oh yeah, they love me there. We just kill it. We get a little crowd forms up, gets us ramped. We invite people to watch us and cheer us on. If you want to try to practice and see how many you could eat, you could join us. And
I think we need to do this anyway. Film some practice one time whenever you guys are, getting ready for hot dog season. Let me know. I'll come up and we could show this whole thing going down.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I would love that for you to come and check it out in person. It's everyone that watches me and supports me, and then comes and sees it in person has a different outlook on it, because it looks completely different. It's a completely different experience in person, right? The splash zone, you hear the noises. It's pretty intense.
What is the splash zone? Just where shit's flying out of your mouth everywhere?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because like you're forcing stuff in, your body's fighting, so you're choking, you're coughing, you're sneezing, you're snarfing. I've had hot dogs come out my nose, French fries, pasta. When you're trying to fill things up and get things done, it's pretty intense.
Your body's fighting you.
Yeah. Definitely, it's your body really it's a big mental game, and that's like getting back to the training, right? Like I quit drinking, I want to cut back on my weight, but I speed up my metabolism because I'm taking all these calories in with the hot dogs. I'm stretching my stomach on a daily basis, and and mentally I got to work on that. I'm working on my breathing. I'm working on my mental stability per se, or to as you're at a certain point your body starts to shut down and starts fighting, right? It starts you're forcing you to reverse, aka vomit,
right?
And so it's really a battle, so you start to fight yourself. And you got to work with that mentally and be able to push yourself, your body to the limits, the pain, the stretching your stomach, forcing pounds of food in your body. You think about it, I'm eating, 40 hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes and probably a gallon of liquid or so going into my body in a very short period of time.
So you don't have to drink the liquid. You're just doing that to get the other stuff to go down.
Correct. Yeah, you don't have to drink liquid. You don't have to dunk the buns. You don't have to separate the hot dogs, but you're allowed to. And the purpose behind the liquid and dunking the buns is it's science. Because there's science involved in this craziness, right? The water takes the air out of the buns, and then I use extremely hot water, and it breaks the starches down. So it liquefies the bun, and I would call that a bun shot. I use the liquid bun to wash the hot dogs down. I never pick up a water unless I'm choking or something. So, and then we flavor the water too to counteract the flavors of the delicious Nathan's hot dogs that you're eating plain. It's a plain hot dog, so you get all that delicious, garlic and seasonings and grease and and bread. So there's no, chili, cheese, raw onions.
So what are you flavoring the water with?
I personally use a sweet peach tea.
Huh.
Yeah. So.
And then you get it hot.
And I make it hot. I make it hot as I could stand it.
Wow.
It's boiling when I prepare it, and it cools down just enough for a competition. We try to time it out.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. So where are you preparing your water? Like if you're not local?
Well, I travel with, insulated growlers, that keep hot water hot for up to 8 hours or 10 hours. I've invested quite a bit of money in these guys.
So what you're saying is you need a Yeti sponsorship.
I would love a Yeti sponsorship. If you could make that happen for me,
I don't know about that, but
So, but sponsorship in any insulated thermos would really go well with
competitive
with
eating.
me, because I travel with six of those growlers.
Okay.
3 gallons of water. Is my traveling companion, and a teapot. So a good teapot, electric teapot. So because backstage we could cook it up, boil up the
Right.
water and stuff.
So you just take the tea, you boil it, put it in your bottles, and then go to the event.
Yep. Go to the event, or if I have to, I'll boil it backstage. I try to prepare it an hour or 2, 3 hours out. And then when you get there, you time it out with the temperature of the air. It's like hot dog season. We start in April. Sometimes it's snowing out, so we wait for the hot dogs to come out to pour out the water, or you can get it out sooner if it's 100 degrees out. And that when it comes to eating, and same thing with the bikes and everything, elevation, temperature, all that comes into a factor too.
How does
the
elevation
humidity,
affect you?
sea level, or you're eating at 2,000 feet, oxygen, right? Practice in the Poconos, we're almost 2,000 feet above sea level.
So how does that affect your
And then,
body?
at Coney, we're at sea level.
So how does that affect you, though?
How do I feel it affects my body?
So like a bike, if you go high elevation, lack of oxygen means you have to cut back on fuel to get the bike to run correctly. So now you have less power just because you have less air and fuel. But for a person, for somebody that has no idea, I'm like, why would that affect you?
But as a human being, though, don't you feel when you're competing at sea level, it's different at, not necessarily the bike, but like the bike, yes, you have to change your fuel and air mixture. But if your body itself,
you're down as well in power.
Yes, you have to change. Your oxygen intake is different, also.
Right.
So
like you need just trying to fight all that stuff, and you're probably getting like you said, trying to fight yourself throwing up and all that. You probably are getting a workout and elevating your heart rate.
Oh, definitely. I'm pushing the heart. The best way I describe it's a 100-yard dash for 10 minutes. Some of our competitions are 6 minutes, but it's a sprint the whole time. I'm trying to eat as much as I can, the fastest I can, in the shortest possible time.
Yeah.
And be consistent about it.
So
the most efficient way I could eat.
You find a pace.
I'm sorry.
You find a pace and then just kind of figure I can maintain this.
Definitely. That's the goal, right? But you physically start to slow down after, 4 to 5 minutes. And, I'm between, 5.5 to 7.5, 8 minutes. I'm really slow, but then I can speed back up towards the end. I could, push myself, because I can eat 7 to 8 hot dogs the first minute, and then I get down to 4 or 5 hot dogs a minute. And then the last minute or so, I might be able to get 5 or 6 hot dogs. I could speed up a little bit towards the end to push myself. But you work on that. That's the goal, right? Like, when I first start with the hot dog practice, I usually go with 20 hot dogs, and my goal is to eat them within 4 minutes, 20 hot dogs and buns. And then I'll start adding every week. I'll add to that, 5 to 10 hot dogs.
And you said that when we were talking initially, you had said you drink like a ridiculous amount of water.
Yeah. So we do stretch. That's part of it's like hot dog practice, and then I have training, and then I water train to stretch the stomach, and not too many people talk about it. It's kind of like not everyone does it. People do food training, go to the buffet, eat a large amount of buffet food, 10, 15 pounds, and then they put liquid on top of that to stretch, which is a great way to stretch. But one of these are 64 ounces, right? It's a half a gallon. And the first time I ever measured my stomach, I couldn't drink one of these in 10 minutes.
Wow.
right? It was about 60 ounces I could drink in 10 minutes. And, now I could drink 6 of these in 3 minutes.
Holy shit.
So that's 3 gallons if you're doing the math.
In 3 minutes?
And, yep.
So a gallon a minute.
Yes.
Now, I asked you this too. Remember, wasn't there some radio disc jockeys that got had a contest where they were trying to see who could drink the most water, and they like you can kill yourself by drinking too much water and diluting like your amino acids and minerals and stuff like that? How do you not do that?
Definitely,
do you have salty water?
Yes, you can hurt yourself quite bad with over flushing your system of any type of liquid. And the DJs you were talking about, I think it's happened in a couple places in the country. Don't hold me to this, but I know in Allentown, for one, a mom had to drink, I don't know if it was a gallon of milk or a gallon of water to win like a Sony PlayStation or something for Christmas, and she ended up dying. She won the PlayStation or whatever, but she ended up dying because it's water toxicity. It's called it. You flush your system of all the electrolytes, and it causes you to have a heart attack, or you can float your brain, and it's bad. It's dangerous. So I can consume a lot of liquid in a very short time, but at the same token, I know I have to get it out of the body, so I have to reverse it out I have to make sure I take in enough electrolytes.
Right.
As I'm doing it.
Got it. Reverse it. That's a nice way to say that.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, right? So, but that's the extreme part of it. That's part of being an athlete, to train your body to, compete in your sport, to be the best you can at it. And when it comes down to it, your stomach's a muscle, and I'm training my stomach to stretch in a very short period of time.
Yeah.
To allow me to take in pounds of food or gallons of liquid. And, you got to train your body to be able to hold that in too, and be able to keep it in your body and process it, or, at least to be able to get off, finish, the stage, the show, do the interviews, and then you could go relax.
Yeah, relax or reverse it.
Or reverse some of it.
Is there a time limit?
Sometimes... no, really, it's in the public eye, I guess. Once you're on stage, you gotta finish everything out. And it's not that I reverse all the time. Sometimes if I'm 10, 15 pounds of food, I might take some off the top just to give myself some relief to process the rest of it, you know?
Huh. What would you say do you guys have rankings? What are you in like the world?
I am currently ranked 17th in the world with Major League Eating.
So do people come from Europe when they for stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, we have Japanese competitors. We have Australian now competing with us, James Webby. We have a Brit, so yeah, we have people coming in from all over the place. Cool.
Did they have contests over there? I would feel like Germany
They used to back in the day. They used to have some contests that we were involved in, but not anything recently. So it's pretty much there's other organizations, through the world doing stuff. Japan, where the United States is with competitive eating today, Japan was 20 plus years ago.
Oh wow. Yeah, they seem like they would be into it.
They are. They're totally into it. They have TV shows, and some of the best eaters, Kobayashi, that took the Nathan's hot dogs from 25 hot dogs in 10 minutes to 50 hot dogs. He just changed the whole sport by introducing dunking the buns. And, he was one of the top ranked eaters for years.
Cool. Yeah, so that's interesting that you just got to get the stuff down. It doesn't matter, like the buns separate. What's the hardest thing to eat?
Well, I mean, hot dogs and buns are pretty hard to eat, but we have in West Virginia, there's a pepperoni roll eating contest. That's pretty hard. A lot of chewing. Next month, there's a bagel eating contest in Vegas. I don't think that's going to be too easy to eat.
Vegas bagels sounds rough.
I think that's what it is. It's bagels in Vegas. So
coming from here,
this weekend a shrimp cocktail. What?
Coming from here, you're going to be like, these bagels are terrible.
Oh yeah, definitely. But next Saturday shrimp cocktail, right? And it is delicious. St. Amo's puts on a great spread. They're known for their shrimp cocktail sauce. It's world famous shrimp cocktail sauce, and the shrimp is high quality shrimp. But whatever you're eating in this amount of food and the quantity and speed, after a minute or two, it doesn't taste like anything. That's why we use peach tea or sodas, grape juice, fruit punch, to change up the flavors, because it just becomes very blah.
Well, that's another thing with eating, right? And I would imagine it would be more so for that. But even if you are sitting at a table and you have one thing to eat, you'll get tired of that. And then you could still have room if there's something else, but you just get over that one flavor or whatever. So I would imagine that's probably a big barrier.
Oh, definitely. Flavor fatigue is real, right? I've taken on a 7-pound lobster roll, and 2 minutes into it, I mean, I love lobster, but 2 minutes into it, it tasted like nothing to me. It was just, I got to go to work now and I got to push through this.
Yeah. But the peach tea holds strong no matter what.
It's a go-to for me. Yeah, I enjoy sweet teas. I enjoy just plain iced teas. So the peach kind of gives it a little twang.
What about? Do you ever do different, where you have different types of teas with you? That way, you even switch your drink up.
For years, during hot dog season, this is what we do. We practice, right? And I'll use, grape juice or orange or fruit punch or pink lemonade. You try to mix it up, and it's hard as you're eating to, switch the flavors, because sometimes it's too sweet or it's too bitter. Some of the contests, we do a pumpkin pie eating contest, and I tried, black hot coffee, a bitter,
to even it out.
Did that with the donuts. Yeah. So, you try to do something bitter with the sweet, and then something sweet with the bitter. And then sometimes, I'll have an extra bottle of soda or a different bottle of, Powerade or something different, just to give me a flavor change.
Right.
But with all the practice and time and energy I put into it, my sweet teas, peach tea is my go-to, And I have my favorite brand, but they don't pay me, so I'm not going to say it. But I can tell the difference between, there's 100 companies out there that make, sweet peach tea, and we all know, I can tell the difference, between them.
Right.
So, yeah.
Nice. Well, yeah, I remember, like I said, when we talked, and I was just like, I need to get you on to discuss this, because it's a bunch of, and I think when you were gone the one time I was saying this, I love to talk to anybody that's really good at something, no matter what it is, because they'll always bring stuff up that you're like, never would have thought of that at all, as an angle, with the liquids, one, at all, and eating the buns. Two, the fact that you need the flavors to try and help, with that. This is, and even training. I don't think I think people just go and, that Joey Chestnut, he's a accountant all year, and then he just goes and eats a bunch of hot dogs, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure that's what people think.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because that's what it used to be,
Right.
25 years ago. It used to be, hey, the big guy, the buffet busters, came in and, could eat eat a lot. So yeah, let me go do this local fair, blueberry pie eating contest or the hot dog contest. And, they're eating 10, 15, 20 hot dogs or, 6 or 7 pies. But, to be the top athlete of any sport, you got to put training and dedication into it. You got to watch your diet. You got to watch your health. You got to, work the muscles that you need, to use to, compete.
Yeah, once it gets to that level, right? Like you said, in the beginning, you could probably just be a guy that could eat a lot. And then somebody screwed it up for everybody and started taking it seriously and and really training. And then all of a sudden they started whooping everybody, and then it became like, okay, well, I'll do that.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's if we're all competitive. 90% of us are competitive, right? I would say, and if someone finds something to make it easier to eat more, like Kobayashi, little guy, but like these big guys were eating, but they weren't dunking the buns. And Kobayashi introduced, hey, if we dunk the bun and there wasn't a rule against it, he destroyed everybody. And everyone's like, whoa, that's what you got to do?
So what is that?
It changes.
What does that do again? Dunking the bun? It
So
helps it break down the starch.
It breaks down the starches and it takes the air out of the bun.
How does that help? Just so you don't have to burp?
Right. So it's less air going in the stomach because you're trying to combine, you're filling your stomach up with space. So you need, capacity, and with the starches, not that there's a lot of air in the bun, but it takes the air out. And, and then breaking the starches down, it literally liquefies the bun. I'm using the bun to wash down my hot dogs. Like, I don't have to chew the bun. I don't have to, do anything except put it in my mouth, and it just goes down.
And there, which so that makes it faster, obviously.
Oh, it makes it a lot faster. Yeah. So when I first started, I would squeeze the hot dog and bun together, dip it in the water, and eat it. And it worked for me. But then to speed it up, I got to separate the hot dogs and buns, and now I just slam them to my face, and it just goes down.
So the
liquid shot of the bun?
You have to separate once the timer starts, or can you prepare your food before the timer starts? Like, do you have to have your hot dogs in the bun until the timer?
Yeah. You have to eat equal bun, equal hot dog to get counted, right? So, like, I eat 2 hot dogs at a time and 2 buns. I'm halfway through the hot dogs, I go bun, halfway, finish the hot dogs, bun. But the judges will only count as 1 bun and 1 hot dogs consumed.
But
so you got to eat equal dog, equal bun.
But do you just pick the hot dog up together and then separate them and dunk the bun, or do you pre-separate?
I don't pre-separate. They got to stay together.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Until the clock starts.
Right.
And then as I pick up, I have technique. My one hand's picking up hot dogs. My other hand's picking up buns. I'm folding the buns in half, inside out, backwards, dunking. We're only allowed to dunk for 5 seconds. I can feel the air come out. That's about 3 seconds in. And then I slam it.
So you're doing that as you're chewing. You're paying attention to the bun viscosity in water.
Yes. Yeah, it's all, but that's what comes into the practice, right? It becomes, routine. It becomes second nature because in 2020, 10 minutes before we're going on stage to compete, I'm talking to Joey Chestnut about technique and different things. And he's like, you got nothing to lose. Try something different, right? And I'm like, that makes sense. And you can watch the film. My first minute, I tried a different technique, and my body was fighting me the whole time because I knew, I was trying to eat 1 hot dog whole and eat a bun. And normally I eat 2 hot dogs at a time, but I'm halfway through the hot dogs. I'll eat a bun, finish the hot dogs, I'll eat another bun. And, trying just to eat 1 hot dog, my body kept trying to, I wanted to eat the bun halfway through because I took my 3 bites. I should be able to eat a bun. But I wasn't done with the hot dog, so I couldn't eat the bun yet. And I was fighting. And so then I went back to my original technique, and I sped up after the first minute of the contest. So you becomes routine. It becomes a natural movement.
It's
With anything.
interesting that you were confusing your body as to it was just in the rhythm of this many bites, and then I get the bun to wash it down versus being like this amount of food.
Correct.
That's weird. Like, this is my point. This is shit nobody would ever. If we didn't have this conversation, there's no way that I would ever have come up with any of this.
Right, and that's like the biggest thing. Like, people think you just sit down. Like, you don't have 25 minutes. You don't have 30 minutes, or it's all you can eat for an hour. It's 6 minutes, 10 minutes. We have 8-minute competitions, and you got to work on the technique. And, you have to be efficient with it. You have to be, I could watch film, at the last strawberry shortcake eating contest. I'm eating my strawberry shortcake from my chest. The other eaters are scooping it in from here, right in front of their face. And immediately I knew that I messed up. I'm like, I knew where I went wrong. And I know what I have to do next time to be better and faster, because I'm losing time from bringing the food from my chest to my face. So I gotta get it, at my face and scoop it in. So I got to work on technique for that. And hot dogs is very technique-y, and it's a capacity. Because we have capacity competitions, and we have technique eating competitions, and then with the hot dogs, it's both. So you got to work on it.
Strawberry shortcake, are you dunking that? That seems like that'd be very dry.
No, it's pretty good because it has that strawberry sauce and whipped cream. So it can be dry. Some years it's a little, they got a little more juice in there than other years. But if you just smush it together, it kind of works.
Where's the strawberry shortcake contest?
Manitonk out on Long Island.
Oh, okay.
The North Shore there. Yeah. It's at Manitonk Strawberry Festival. It's been going on for like 70 years. It's a good time. I've done like 14 pounds in 8 minutes.
Does by the end that doesn't even taste like anything?
It's just, yeah. No,
Very
usually
upsetting.
you have a sugar headache by then. It's just because it's a tasty contest. It's one of the tastiest, but it's very overwhelming. 14 pounds of strawberry shortcake in like 8 minutes. It's a lot of something, Red beans and rice. I've done 42 brats in 10 minutes this past year out in Cincinnati at Oktoberfest.
Wow. Buns too, or just brats?
Just brats, no buns.
Did you wash that down with beer?
Not on stage. Afterwards, I've walked off stage and drank a couple Dawes Boots.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, man, it's been fun chatting. And,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, Clint, thank you for having me on. I appreciate you taking the time. Sorry about the phone difficulties.
Technology.
Excuse me. But I live in the woods anyway, so it's like I'm just glad we had good service for most of it.
Where are you at? In New Jersey, New York?
Northeast Pennsylvania.
Okay.
In the Poconos.
Okay, so you're probably not far from me. I'm like near Hackettstown, New Jersey.
Oh yeah, not far at all.
Yeah.
I'm only like 30 minutes past Delaware Water Gap.
Okay. Cool.
So
yeah, we're relatively in the same woods.
Definitely. You're just a little closer to sea level than I am.
Yeah.
But it'd be great to have you come out to practice in hot dog season or one of my events. I'm constantly doing different things around the area. So
yeah, let me know. And this even because I'm always trying to do different events and stuff like that too, or a couple things, and that sounds like an interesting one to try to you do a benefit at the local firehouse and then have the firemen challenge you.
Oh, definitely. Like I'll do fundraisers at, golf tournaments, shotgun with all the, shotgun beers with all the, the foursomes coming around, raise money for the kids. So I'm good to raise a couple thousand a year for the kids.
Yeah.
Doing events like that. But, definitely there's the food challenges. I do like the, taking on the muggles too.
Yeah.
It's a fun time to show the difference between you guys and me.
Right. Yeah. Someone that knows what they're doing.
Definitely. Yeah, because there is training. And it's like I said, mentally you got to prepare yourself for that sprint. And, even in a 6-minute contest, but like we wings for 12 minutes, stripping, chicken wings bone in, and you got to make sure you're not eating bones. You got to make sure you're not choking, and you got to consume as much as you can in 12 minutes. And to eat something nonstop for 12 minutes, I train my jaw, right, for chewing, when it comes to pizza. Like there's a lot to do with that. So, I'm glad that we were able to talk about it and work on that and, let people know it's just more than just sitting down at the table and eating fast.
Yeah, exactly. All right, yeah. Let me know. Definitely hit me up. I'll shoot you my number and everything, and let me know when you're in the area. We'll definitely come out and check it out and make like I said, especially anything. I'll bring the camera, and we can talk to you behind the scenes and all that stuff, and show what really goes on.
Sounds good, man. I appreciate that.
No problem.
All right.
All right, everybody. Peace out. Leave some comments. You got any other questions or anything? Just leave them below. And eventually